Did that fix it? Is their audio working now?
Fix it.
It did. Cool. Again, like a 15 to 20-ish second delay on the audio for this. Terribly sorry, but we're gonna work it through. I'm super hyped to be here. Thank you for joining me. This is gonna be great. We're just gonna watch the game together. We're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna just fire it off great. Any predictions for tonight's game? Go ahead and launch them into the chat. I'll see how to pull this up. Again, super low tech. I have zero idea what I'm doing. I do not know how any of this works. Is it still going? Can you guys still hear me?
I have zero idea what I'm doing.
Yes, cool. I am going to try to pull up chat. Chat, that's weird. I don't know what I'm doing. Cool. Pop out chat. There we go. Vegas prevails 4-3. Let's go. I hope so. Vegas wins. Vegas 4, Utah 1. Any of these options, I will take gladly. I will say, when I was driving earlier today around town, I saw a fire truck and the fire engine, I'm not superstitious, but just throwing this out there. The number on the fire engine was 801, which is Utah's area code. My wife is currently in Utah visiting family. And so I don't know. What did y'all think about the promo that they were doing with the jersey exchange? Also, terribly sorry about the delay. I do not know how to fix this. I thought it was funny. In general, I thought it was just a good, cool thing that an owner did, and good for Utah. I wonder where, I hope, it's probably most likely a tax write-off. The cheap counterfeits. That was so funny. Honestly, I probably would have exchanged a counterfeit jersey that I still own from when I first was buying a jersey for a fresh, because I have a jersey for every team, and so that was something that I do have a Utah one now, right? But like the Mammoth, and plus I don't know, were they Fanatics? Were they like the breakaways? Were they the pros? Probably not the pros, but like the authentic ones. There's like the breakaways, there's the authentics, and then there's the authentic pros, which are the like made in Canada ones. I don't know what they were giving away. But honestly, I think what they'll do is they'll donate those to the local Deseret Industries, gave people jerseys and paid people to stand in line. Hey, whatever works. Honestly, I think it's cool. If they were breakaways, then yeah, no. I think the breakaways are really good for people that prefer comfortability, but I don't know. I don't know. All the jerseys. There were a couple. The Adidas gray, nice. Game what the first game that they wear the jersey that they're okay. So I wore the gold for game 1, and I'm wearing the white for game 3, right? Because game 2 I wore the gray, if I wear the white and Vegas wins, does that mean I have to wear whatever jersey they're wearing for the rest of the series, for the rest of the playoffs? Does it matter? I'm not superstitious. Again, I'm a little stitious, but like the famous office quote. Um, we'll see, you know? I don't know how to tell at all what's going on right now. So let's see. The glow in the dark ones are fantastic. It's really unique. They're doing the anthem. I don't know where y'all are at with watching, but sorry if I'm ahead, sorry if I'm behind. I just got silent because I am waiting. Also, talking during the anthem is not a good thing, right? I want to hear if there's a night. Night! There was a loud night. Wow. Can't watch at work, home of the Kraken. Really good anthem singer. All of them are good, right? If you're performing at the NHL level, in general, you probably are a really good anthem singer. Nothing can beat Golden Pipes, though, right? Classic. Any jersey is a good jersey, you know, and people that want to buy straight up knockoffs, good. I don't like it, doesn't matter. I'm not a jersey snob that way. For me personally, I want the authentics, but the Marner Premium Maple Leaf. I saw the sale for the yeah. I wish I could have snagged one of the Oshi ones, the Screaming Eagle caps, but by the time I checked, they were back up to either sold out of that one specifically or like a ridiculously like the 60 something $70 ish price mark. But yeah, Marner is my Leafs jersey. I have the next gen one, the black one, the reversible Bieber one. I love the black Maple Leafs jersey and the numbers. And we've got puck drop. They're starting with the fourth line for Vegas. Nick Dowd wins the faceoff. Let's go! Game 3! They're starting Kraus, Schmaltz, and Cole? Cole and Dersey. Who's that? Icing. Utah and their icings. Oh boy. Hey, grandparents watching. Thank you guys. Love you guys. Funny thing is, apparently the Canadians fans didn't see that deep of a. Yeah, it's the difference between the Fanatics NHL websites between the states and the Canadians um, are rough because sometimes there are Canadian sales that I'm like, oh man, that can't grab. But you know, no icing. It was dropped back at center ice. I don't know what the call was. Utah into the neutral zone. Would you rather like play by play or just talking? Because I love Dave and Shane. They're top of the league in like for play by play announcers. Oh, Cooley rips it, blocked. Yams. Gunther blocked by Theodore. Stone. Eichel broken up. Ooh, big hit. Barbashev. Of course it's Barbashev. Kerfoot behind the net. Rips it up. Kept in for a minute, but now out of the zone. Korzak. Howden. I mean, it was kind of wide. I don't think it was going to be on net, but Vermelka makes a stop either way. Oh, no. Wow. Howden on the doorstep. Could not bury it. I am not doing the clock. That is my bad. I should definitely have started that. That is on me. That's another nice. Cool. Well, Vegas has a couple of shots. I think that would be 3. The scoreboard that you see on your screen is manual. It is by me. Barbie, every single game. I don't know what the difference is. Like, he just turns it on for the playoffs. Howden, oh man, good save from Vermelka. Barbashev, what a hit on Marino. Barbie, the cigarette machine, right? Good energy to start the game. I would agree. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, trickled wide. Four shots on goal for Vegas. Jersey, wide. Hannafin to Anderson. They get it out. Kolazar, Smith, Riley. Hurdle! Dude! So close every time. He's had like 4 almost goals in the series. I keep wanting to say wah. And I know it's Sissons. It's been Sissons all year. But like, work calls. Hey, whenever you can get back, that's great. Thanks, Beer Can Howie. The fourth line for Vegas is really good at forechecking and keeping it in. Shea Theodore, shot from the point, blocked wide and out of play. Oh, boy. Hurdle, man. Vermelka just started going right because Vermelka's left, and he assumed Hurdle was going that way, I guess. But Hurdle stopped and didn't go that way. No worries. Don't worry about being ahead. That's great. I don't care. Do you have ESPN's feed or Vegas's feed from Script Sports? Cooley versus Stone. Sergachev. And it's kept in. Gunther. Oh, geez. Cooley hit. That was not close to the puck, but okay. Stone knocks the puck off Gunther. Touch pass from Michael to Stone. Barbie up in the air. Yamamoto breaks the other way with Gunther. Lost his edge. That's Utah's first shot on goal. And there's a scrum. First scrum of the game. Sportsnet. Ah, nice. Shots are 7-1 in favor of Vegas. Typically, when that happens, and not to try to speak anything into existence, but the other team usually scores first when Vegas outshoots them this heavily. So let's see what happens. Vegas wins the face-off in the defensive zone. Howden cannot control the puck. Here we go. into the offensive zone. And Utah gets possession. Schmaltz. Offsides. Yeah, I'm like a good 15 seconds ahead of what the stream is saying that I am. So it's whatever. I'm using Streamlabs. That I just why not try to figure it out. And hey, I like the setup so far. This is pretty cool. Hey, there's 12 people here. That's fantastic. Better than I thought it was going to be. So, hey, thank you for being here. Let's go. Go Knights go, right? And if you're a Utah fan, hi. Welcome. You are welcome here. Oh, that was close. Puck got sent into the front of Carter Hart. Feeds it. Kolzar beats everyone else to the puck. Hurdle. Kolzar. Jersey and Smith battle. Oh. Korzak's out there with McNabb. Interesting. I'm going to try TBS and see if it's ahead of where this is. Hey, Canucks fan, welcome. There's another scrum. Yay. I lived in Vancouver for a couple of years. That's awesome. Win percentage for a playoff game all time, best of 7 series, is game 3 for Vegas. They're 9-5 on the road, which is second best of all time. Cool. Yeah, Vermelka's pads, his setup in general is fantastic. And Utah's gear in general, like I've been a fan of those colors since they were introduced last year, and I like the logo, the Mammoth logo. I don't know. McNabb, Cooley. Vegas needs to find an answer for the second line of Utah's. Their second line. It's the Cooley, Gunther, and Yamamoto line. They have been destroying Vegas, and not having Carlson is a major. Like he's such a defensive shutdown center, um, but we haven't had him all season, so it's hard to say anything else. And plus, you just got to do what you can with the players that you have, right? So Eichel with a small hit on Sergachev. Icing. Hey, Utah's second icing of the game. Let's go. Next commercial break, I will see if TBS is ahead or behind or what. TBS. Shots are 8-1. And here we go. Utah the other way. Keller, Schmaltz. Tipped wide. Howden. Schmaltz. Keller tipped it wide again. I don't know if it was Keller the first time, but the tip wide again. That's too many men. No, they didn't call it. It went off of his skate. He didn't play it, but like, I don't know. Oh, Carcone lost his helmet. Here's Paterka. Pulls up. Really good pull up. He got 2 Golden Knights to miss him. Guys. No icing? Icing. Vegas is first icing. Imagine Utah winning the cup. The entire Utah winning the cup would be insane. Um, I would feel the most bad for Yotes fans. I would feel so bad. Like, obviously, we don't know if they would have made the same exact decisions, like acquiring Sergachev or whatever. But like, man, most of this core is directly from Arizona, right? Yeah, the energy and the well, this is their first playoff game ever. I was expecting their energy to be a lot better than Vegas's, especially because like I imagine Vegas's energy would pick up as the rounds get later, which should not be the case, right? T-Mobile should just be rocking from the get-go, right? I think our fan base is kind of entitled in the sense that we don't really understand what it's like to not do any of that. Of course, Tampa Bay and Montreal are going to OT. The, of, every time, man. At least we're not the TNT ones. Did Vermelka get a shot on that or a pat on that? Dowd. Vermelka made that save. I did not get the clock going, so let me just adjust. Okay, let's see. All right, first commercial break. And TNT slash TBS is behind me right now. So I could try to pull it up on my computer. It's normally ahead on my computer, but we'll see. What in the world? I don't know what just happened. Okay. My computer's not used to this much output. I've got a monitor behind me to help me sort through everything that I'm seeing right now, and it's just kind of slow. Let's see, just adding to that by going to that's not TNT. TNT drama. It's not on that. It would be on the other one. Oh. And now they're on Script Sports are showing the first postseason game in Vegas. Oh man, it's nostalgic looking back and seeing the Misfits back in 2018. Puck drop again after the first TV break, coming almost halfway through the period. And Vermelka makes a stop. The clock wasn't running on the TV, so that's fun. The clock on Script Sports isn't working anymore. Icing on Utah. Third icing halfway through the first period. Not even. Bissonette, Kenobi, bobblehead. That's insane. The clock on Script Sports is still not working. Vegas with possession. Wrist blocked. And Utah can't clear. Theodore on the point. Marner blocked. McNabb around. Howden. Whoa. Missed Marner. Theodore keeps it in. Marner. Theodore. Back for Howden. No, that's not Theodore. That was Dorofiev. And Utah goes the other way. They're going to just look to change. They've been on for a while. Schmaltz on the forecheck. Here comes Vegas the other way. Yeah, Vegas being 10 is, I cannot comprehend that. Well, that's fun. Golden Knights to the power play. Let's go. Kerfoot to the box. Goaltender interference. I don't know how much time is left because Script Sports still has 11:51 on the screen. So the 10:20 might not be accurate. But hey, we're just vibing, you know? I don't know if Korczak pushed him in. Okay. Korczak kind of shoves him towards the crease, but Kerfoot does not make an effort to get out of the way. A BS call, okay. I can understand your point there. Man, refs are interesting this series so far. In general, the playoffs. It's the NHL refs, of course. Eichel, Marner, blocked, Hurdle, Dorofiev, Marner, Eichel, Stone, Ian Cole forces turnover, and Utah clears. Wide. I think what the problem is my browser for Chrome is out of date, and so it's not letting me pull it up on my computer. Utah and Vegas have both done a significantly good job of getting in lanes and blocking stuff all series. Vegas has been very good at limiting things to the outside for the most part, except for on rushes, which is when Utah's been capitalizing. And Utah, especially on the penalty kills, have just been fantastic at being aggressive while also maintaining formation enough to be able to block passing lanes and shooting lanes. Marino clears. Oh, there's the clock. I was actually somewhat accurate. Let's go. That's my off ice training for you. And that's the end of the penalty. Hannafin. Utah kills it. Shots are 11-2. You just know Utah scoring first. Icing on Vegas. They're second of the game. Ooh, man. Good save from Veggie through traffic. Kolzar gets it out all the way down. That'll be icing again. No, waved off. Maybe it was tipped. Maybe it was never going to be. I don't know. I can't hear the feed. That's true. You know, them scoring first, we won, and then we scored first and we lost. So Vegas has come out with a really good energy to start the first. If they're able to keep this up tonight, it's going to be really hard for Utah to do much. Uyghur scores. Never mind. Oh no. Okay. Utah fans were complaining about Uyghur game one. He has 2 goals in his last 2 games, and yes, that doesn't fix things. That he lapses on defensively, but at the same time, like he is a Vegas killer. I swear, every time he played us with Calgary, he would score a goal as a defenseman. It was insane. I don't know what his record is against us. Man, that's terrible for Vegas because that shifts all the momentum towards Utah with the Delta Center rocking with that goal. That's unfortunate. Oh, okay. Yep, Schmaltz almost just made it 2-0. I'm going the other way with the clock. I mentioned it briefly in one of the videos that I've made since coming back. Icing on Vegas? No, I don't. Okay. Um. Wow, Dorofiev. Um. Man, but I didn't realize that Mackenzie Weegar was available, and I would have preferred him over Anderson. I have no idea how we would have made the cap situation work, simply to get him off of being able to score against us. Because, like I said, Vegas Golden Knight killer, and I do not want that guy in our conference. And if the only way to do that was to have him on our team, I would like he. I don't know. I again don't watch every game, but like from the games that we played against Calgary and against Utah so far, like he just, I would like to have him on our team at a reasonable cap hit for the next several years too. Oh boy. Okay. Well, down 1-0. Still 20. No, not 20. 46 minutes left of hockey to play. Well, not ideal, right? But hey, um, last time Utah scored first, we won. So let's see what happens. We were out shooting them 11-2, and then uh, this is fantastic. Dorofeev in general has been effective in the regular season, both like last season and this season, right? How do you not sign him, right? But watching him in the playoffs, he's not been able to do much, right? Last season too. If he's at 5-on-5 especially, like he's most noticeable on the power play, and that's true in the regular season as well. But he's still in the regular season at 5-on-5 able to do something, right? That I don't know, man. I think Vegas extends him no matter what, right? Because logically, like, what are you going to do? Not extend a 30 goal scorer, two like back to back years, 30 goal scorer? But I do think if he's not able to perform in the playoffs with the sample size that we have of him in the playoffs, that does drive the price down from what it probably should be. Not should, as in like for Vegas, it doesn't matter if you don't perform if you're unable to perform in the playoffs, right? Vegas used to digging out of a hole 100%. I wish that wasn't the case. I wish we could have a lead and then hold one, but I'd rather they be able to dig out of a hole than not. So honestly, it's Eichel, Doro, and Marner need to get on the score sheet at 5-on-5. We're going back to commercial. They need their TV timeouts, right? And there's supposed to be three well, based on my time in the Fed, which is what we call the FPHL, which is professional hockey at the lowest level in the United States. You have three TV timeouts per period during like the 20 minutes. And they didn't have their first until about 12 minutes in. I think that was their second one, right? With like just a little under 6. And so they have to get their third one in. It's just funny to me because it's happened before too, where it's the clock is run over because in the Fed it's just every 5 minutes. So the first stoppage, whether that's in a power play, off of an icing, except for off of a goal, it's the first stoppage after the 15 minutes, then after the 10, then after the 5. But in the NHL, they're a little bit more lenient with like trying to keep the flow of the game. So if it's in the middle of a power play, they're not going to do it. But it was funny that the next stoppage, because they have to let it go a little bit, right? So but like if in the Fed, it had happened to where there was a goal right before one of the TV timeouts, and then there was another goal as the only other stoppage of play or no stoppage of play up until the next time period. They could have back-to-back TV timeouts with just like a small thing in between. It's really weird. I'm sure the NHL probably is a little bit more professional in that regard, but our win percentage on the road all time in active franchises, I think that's just second. It doesn't rank them. It says best, right? So Vegas is second all time with a 549, 28 and 23. Yeah, something with the clock. Yeah. I think they might have, I don't know. We're 12-7 at home, 12-9 on the road. All right. The fourth line out there in the defensive zone. Utah wins the draw. They have their second line. There's a shot from the point, makes its way to Hart. I think it was on. They keep taking away shots, and that's funny to me. Oh, I think that's a shot Vegas, incidentally. Because with stats, it's anything that if the goalie wasn't there would have gone in is a shot on goal. So if it hit the post or if it went just outside, even if the goalie saved it, it doesn't count as a shot anymore. And I think the league has cracked down on that. Utah is starting to control play here. Wow. Blocked out of play. So they took one. They've taken away Utah's fourth shot of the goal, shot on goal, like 3 times now. And now, is there a penalty? McNabb, 2 minutes, high sticking. Fantastic. Power play, Utah. Yay. Torts is asking for an explanation. Or he's just yelling at the ref. Oh, boy. They are the only team without a power play goal versus Vegas this season, including the playoffs. Why on earth would you put up that statistic? Oh, my goodness. Gunther. Keller. Gunther. Keller. Gunther. Schmaltz. Gunther. Sergachev. Gunther. Sergachev. Cooley. Shot. No. Wow. He passed it. Cool. Cooley. Schmaltz. Gunther. Scores. You've got to be kidding me. All right. Hey, one way to get Vegas to get into their heads is to get down 3-0 early, right? Right? Dylan Gunther is a fantastic player. My goodness. So there's a app that has NHL Fantasy Stars. It's it's basically like managing a team and whatever. I'm just free to play, although you can pay. I started Dylan Gunther tonight because I also started Marner because I think Marner is going to get one tonight, but we'll see. Vegas 2-0. We've got 42 minutes left of hockey. A long time, and Vegas has dug their way out of holes before, but the Delta Center is got to be going crazy right now. Lauzon. Is that Keller's first point of the series? No. Kolazar. Theodore. McNabb. Send it deep. Shot wide. Minute left. Sponsored by Credit One Bank. Just not on this channel. Jersey tipped in by Cooley. Hanifin gets it. Around for Anderson. Tipped by Cole Smith, out and out of play. I forgot to start the timer again. I thought streaming my first game that something like this would happen. I also predicted overtime was going to happen. My predictions are Marner anytime goal, overtime, and a fight at some point. Series is over. Okay. The only series that I genuinely believe is over is Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, because it's Pittsburgh kind of struggled, limped into the postseason, and Philadelphia was hot. They were so good. That's the end of the first. Cool. 2-0 Utah. Hey, Utah, once they got that first goal, controlled the rest of the period. They got that power play and they scored on it because Gunther is fantastic. Ref is motioning Dursey to get off the ice. Really good stuff from Utah to end the period. Avs versus Kings, I think, is a lot closer than people are seeing it, even though Avs are up 3-0. The Kings have surprisingly held in that series in every game. I do think that Avs take it. I don't know if it's going to be in 4 or 5. I think the Kings probably take one. I would not be shocked if Philadelphia closes out. Dominating the first period and being it's so hard because the shot clock does not. They just can't pick which end of the state they want to be buried in. That's good. Let's see. So around the league, Montreal closed it out. I see. Um, yep, 3-2. Who scored for them? Lane Hudson. Of course it was. Lane Hudson in overtime from Texier. So Texier had a really good night. And Zach Bolduc, which that Blues trade, man, I don't know about that one from St. Louis's perspective. But cool, good for them. Oilers and Ducks are zeros, and they are 5 minutes into the first period. Good for them. That is Keller's first assist, and he doesn't have a goal, so that is Keller's first point of the series in Game 3. Vegas playing on their heels. So apparently they weren't chanting, "We want the cup." From what I've been told, in Arena, they started chanting, "Utah sucks," which, that doesn't sound the same to me, but apparently that's what was being said. And it was because, according to what I've heard, look at me spreading rumors, that there were Utah fans that were in Vegas that were chanting Vegas sucks or something. But honestly, starting to chant Utah sucks or we want the cup when we tied the game is not a good look at all. If you're trying to drown out sound from fans, like, okay, sure, whatever. But both chants were there? Okay, that's bad. No. That's bad juju. It's game 1 of round 1, and you're chanting, "We want the cup." Yes, that annoyed me, let alone the other 31 fan bases in the country that have literally, like, like they all hate us, right? I think outside of like your team's personal rival, I think in general Vegas is the most hated fan base or franchise across the league because they're constantly good. They are kind of brutal and heartless when it comes to their transactions. And oh man, our fan base is completely entitled. Of course we are. We've been to the playoffs 8 of the 9 years, and the one year we didn't make it, we barely missed and had 500 man games lost to injury, so had an excuse for missing. Yes, our fan base is completely entitled, but at the same time, like, man, they've got to come. Torts has got to be pissed at his team, right? So we're gonna see if Torts is able to motivate them coming out of the first. They're not playing poorly at all. They started playing on their heels after Utah got on the board, right? Um, but man, um, nice tie, Dave Gosher. I like that. Yeah, no team, in my opinion, should be chanting that unless I don't know. If like other fans want to do it, okay, whatever. Personally, I think it's dumb to be doing that in game one, round one, after you tie the game, guys. But whatever. Um, let's see. San Jose and Henderson have started as well, and they're tied at zeros. I think chanting it, if you let so for example, Panthers go up 3-0 against Edmonton, right? In game three, when they're about to go up 3-0, I think that's a legitimate time to like start it in arena if you're like the home team or whatever. However, that is poster board material, right? And Edmonton came back, obviously, and forced game seven. And it was a tight game in game seven, too. Like, it went to over. Like, it's just, you know, but at the same time, I don't know. I when game five for Vegas in 2023, I didn't. We were up 6-1 or two, and I still wasn't 100% sure. It was when Mark Stone netted the hat trick, the empty netter hat trick. That's when I finally started to believe because 2019 taught me that nothing is ever over, and I do not care what lead we have. Nothing is ever over, and so I just was like, nope, I'm not allowing myself to believe yet until Mark Stone got the hat trick. And even then I was like, okay, man, but I don't know. Yeah, Utah is hyped. Looking at videos of the Delta Center, like T-Mobile really needs to step up their game. Just I think we've gotten complacent with like yeah, bad juju, bad mojo. I think we've gone complacent in T-Mobile because we're so used to the success, and getting further into the playoffs would help us get there naturally. But like, we need to show up from round one. It makes a huge difference. Which, yeah, flashbacks to the 5 minute major. Um, I rewatched that. What was that? 2 years ago? 3 years ago? That sucked. Rewatching that. I'm never watching that again. Um, like terrible. And what is today the anniversary of that, or was that yesterday? Um, I remember seeing a bit about it on Twitter, but it was not good. Oh boy. Okay, let's transition to this. It's barely different, but I just want to see what I'm used to, you know? Vegas is down early, 2-0. There's still plenty of time left, but at the same time, you know, we're at Utah. Utah's the home team. The Delta Center is rocking, and I feel like no matter who the coach is, no matter who the players have been, no matter what has been happening, and maybe this is true for every team, but Vegas' scoring just dries up randomly, especially in the playoffs. And not trying to set anything out there, but like, I don't know. Oh man. Hopefully, Marner, I don't know what's going on with him, man. We need our stars to perform, and we need our depth to also perform. Like I would, the reason we won game one was because of our fourth line, 100%. which is good because in the playoffs, they're going to steal you games. But you also need your stars to show up, right? Anaheim is out shooting Edmonton 8-2 halfway through the first. Woo! Who do we got in the other series? Who do you think is going to win? I think, let's see, Avs, Flyers, I would say are pretty much locks at this point. You know, Canes as well. Ottawa, I think, has the best opportunity to stage a sort of comeback. Um, who coaches Vegas next season? It depends on this playoff run, in my opinion, whether or not Torts stays. If Torts is able to get Vegas deep in the playoffs, I think he returns for a year. If not, I would be interested in Jay Woodcroft. I don't because the winningest coach in Oilers history, right? It would help us be able to solve them, and they would be a major hurdle for Vegas competing in the future. But thinking about like who's available now, the biggest free agent is Bruce Cassidy. And yeah, maybe his message grew stale in the locker room, but like Ducks to the power play. Um, it really depends on the coaching carousel for the off season. Um, I would love John Cooper. If the Canadians are able to finish out the series against Tampa Bay in five, I don't know. That's what, four straight first, no, 2023, 4, 5. And that would be four straight first round exits for Tampa Bay. And he is the longest tenured head coach. I don't know. Anaheim taking out Edmonton. I think it's kind I wouldn't say likely. I would say it's 50-50, which is terrible for Edmonton. Edmonton is always in it. I think McDavid's hurt a little bit with something, and he's pointless through 2.25 games or whatever. John Gruden, that would not be good. But yeah, Oilers are Dreisaitl's hurt. Hyman is fantastic, even if he is playing hurt or whatever. They lost Dickinson, who had a huge game one for them. Was I think the reason they won that game. Um, I don't know. Anaheim's speed and youthfulness are really really apparent, and Dostal is a better goaltender, right? So the Olympic gold medal game, yeah, probably. I don't know. I like, and I'm not trying to make excuses. I think every team has like any player that's playing right now is probably hurt at least somewhat because this is some issue that is especially in a condensed season like this. Although I do feel like since the Olympics, the schedule kind of opened up a little bit to be more normal, which is how I would do it. I would definitely like front load the brute end of the schedule. Flyers look scary, making yeah. The thing is the Pens we predicted before the season to be like the only team that was selling, and they surprised us by being able to be fantastic because Sidney Crosby, and they make it to the playoffs. Although they just kind of held their ground to close out the season, and man, the Flyers are what, the second best team in the league since the Olympic break. And so momentum slash age has played a huge factor, which I think is playing a factor in Anaheim and Oilers and Edmonton. And I think it's playing a factor in Vegas, Utah. Utah is the younger, faster team. And I think we got them to play our game a little bit more in game one. And then they've been playing their game since. Rage. against the machine or just in general? Thank you. I really appreciate it. Staying up late, live streaming, it's yeah, this it's fun and it's a Friday night and so I can do this. Vegas Buffalo final would be so toxic. Like if you think about it, okay, Vegas Utah, brand new rivalry, but it's already seemingly to trend that way. Then if Edmonton gets to the second round over Anaheim, that would be a terrible toxic matchup. And then Colorado or Dallas or Minnesota, round three, would be terrible. Any three of those. LA too, I guess, but like Colorado, Dallas, or Minnesota, right? And then the final against Buffalo, that would be the most toxic run for Vegas in their franchise's history, right? Because let's be honest, the rivalry with San Jose is kind of dead. It might start back up, but San Jose looks like a machine. Macklin Celebrini is so freaking good, and it pains me that he's on the Sharks. But like honestly, I'd give him a heart vote. Um, yeah, Vegas Buffalo would be so toxic. Do you think they would still boo Eichel every time he touched the puck? Honestly, that's the only part that bothers me about Buffalo, right? Like, just move. Like that trade was over 5 years ago, and you're still booing him. I I don't know. That's weird to me. Trying to think who I would not like. I don't even boo Evander Kane that hard. I don't know. I wouldn't say anybody Seward Vegas. The same like the same way that they interpret how Eichel did. I don't know. Oh boy. So I think Canes, Avs, Flyers. I would rather Edmonton pulled it out, or not Edmonton. Holy moly! Cut out my tongue. Start over. Anaheim. Although Edmonton just killed off the penalty. I the Canadians are a young fun group. I like Tampa Bay, but I don't know. I think Montreal takes it, and I think Buffalo takes out Boston too. Um, Boston has controlled games for the most part, which is funny, but um, reset time 20 minutes, fresh on the clock as we are about to enter the second period. Oilers score first. I miss Tuck so much. Are you kidding me? Like, I would love to have him back on the team. He's such a beauty. But I think he stays in Buffalo. Like, I think his connection with, he's from what, Syracuse, which is really close to Buffalo, and that was his childhood team. I don't know. It makes sense to me that he stays. They probably extend him at like 10 or more million per year, right? And Vegas can't cover that right now. uh, let's see. Anaheim's dominating Edmonton so far. They have a power play. Edmonton scores first. Vasily Podkolzin, who he's had a monster first couple of games. Favorite player when he was on the team. I get that 100%. He, I remember game 5 against Colorado. I think it was game 5, where he bat the puck out of the air and like just shoveled it down and shoveled it through Colorado's goaltender in 2021. Oh man, such a beautiful goal. Buffalo fans would boo Jack Eichel 100%, even if you're retired. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's the only part about Buffalo fandom that I just do not get. Like, sure, they're passionate, and I am happy for them that they're finally in the playoffs again and actually are a fantastic team. They just had to get rid of Kevin Adams. And then the vibes changed. Vegas, Sissons! Vermelka makes the save. And there's a scrum. Man, Good opening 18 seconds to the second period. We're going to have to solve Vermelka. Yeah, 1-0 Oilers. Vasily Podkolzin, man. I want Anaheim to win. I would not be surprised either way. Honestly, with the Utah-Vegas series, I would not be surprised either way either, unfortunately. Did I cover all the East series? Philly, Carolina. I think Carolina holds out. Montreal and then Buffalo. Yeah. Those would be my picks for the rest of the first round. I did not make a bracket this year, which is weird. Utah wins the draw. Sends it around the boards. Lone Cooley comes the other way. Sergachev grabs it behind the net. Shovels it out. Gunther flips it in. Theodore gloves it down. McNabb. Cole Smith. And McNabb holds it in. Eichel shot. Blocker saved. Yeah, he is a southpaw. I knew he was a southpaw. Vermelka, gloves right. That's weird. Cool. He's like Logan Thompson then. I was doubting myself when I was reviewing game one. I definitely was like, oh, there's no way, right? But no, he gloves right. Offensive draw for Vegas. Vegas controls it. Hannafin, Anderson, shot. It's loose. Back out to Anderson, over to Hannafin. Stone, up to Hannafin. Missed, wide, out. Stone back to collect. Drops it for Hannafin. Utah forechecking. Anderson. Utah gets the puck back in the neutral zone. Krause thumps it. Hart behind the net, sends it over. Hannafin. Pulls up, gets to the red line and dumps it, and goes off for a change. Uyghur. Sergachev. Lauzon battling with Kerfoot in the corner. Dorofeev. Sergachev with the puck, sends it. Utah through the neutral zone. Wide. Behind the net. Nobody on the point. Utah has to regroup. Tanev. Yikes. Okay, Marner. Dorofeev shovels it to the corner. Man, Marner put a lot of zip in that. It was a pass. Like, I don't know. Good bump from Riley Smith. Hurdle. Winds up. Theodore. Blocked. Utah is just putting bodies in front. He scoots around him. High stick. Hurdle to the box. Or was it just played with a high stick? Yeah, just played with a high stick. Utah, offensive zone draw. 5 minutes of good pressure and chances, and then one mistake, Utah goal. Yep. Cooley, booted from the dot. Yamamoto versus Dowd. Dowd wins it. Anderson flips it up and out. Glove down in the neutral zone by Utah. Cole Smith up to Sissons. Dowd, Sissons. Anderson gloves it. Vermelka stops. Oh, boy. See, I like Logan Cooley. He is so aggravating to play against because he's 21, right? And he just is really good, but he's scrappy. And then Vegas tries to respond, and they're like, "Oh, why is Dowd saying that to a 21-year-old?" Like, I don't know, because they're hockey players. I, I don't know. Vegas wins the draw in the offensive zone. Hanifin, Kenzie Weegar, Sergachev, Eichel, and kept in. Stone, Anderson, I think that's Stone. Hanifin, glove, Vermelka, stop. We have 18 shots on goal, and we need. We have yet to put one past Vermelka. Vegas is getting goalied right now. Utah controls the draw. Kraus into the offensive zone. You got to be kidding me. Yeah, all right. Well, Schmaltz sends it on. Tip by Kraus, perfectly over Hart's blocker. They could have just made it 4-0. Oh boy, guys, Smith. Wow, he feathered that through. And then Vermelka stops Howden. Shocker. Guys, we need to respond like ASAP. Korzak. I'm getting called by my wife. Good play from Paterka to get it out of the zone. So, idea. Pull Carter Hart. Put in Akira Schmid because dude is unstoppable when he's in relief. I've been saying this all season. You start whichever goalie you want that is not Akira Schmid. You pull him after one or two saves or the first goal, you immediately put Schmid in. You are not or you start the game with that goalie in net, Hill or Hart. You pull him at the next stoppage, put in Schmid. You will be able to get shutouts the rest of the thing, right? Ah, man, I don't. If Vegas loses the series, they will not trade Marner. I know he's been invisible in the playoffs. Man, I cannot see that happening. Um, the thing is Petro is like when he joined, he was not good in the regular season. He was getting used to living two time zones different, and I can't remember how old his kids were. And then also a completely new structure and a completely new place. And he finally found his gear when he got to the playoffs that first season. And I know defensemen are very different and whatnot. I don't know. I don't like. Oh, here we go. Keller got run over. No call. Which, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they would have called there. He had the puck. He's allowed to get hit when he has the puck. Hurdle, um, that has not worked out, eh? He is really good on the power play, and that's been it. And then the last 23 games has not scored a goal, right? But like, I don't know. Is he too injured? Is he like, would other teams take him? Would we be able to? We would not be selling high on him. We would not be able to get anything close to what we gave up to get him, right? Doro, I think we could convince some people to take him and get a decent package for. But like, why are we talking about like getting rid of like? Yes, first round exit sucks, but like, I don't know, man. I think that this team is. I what you got to do is you got to figure out. You, we need William Carlson back, right? Even then, he's not our number one center. Our ability to play well should not rely solely on him. We've got to figure it out. We need, I would say, what we need to do is find a legitimate center. If we have to switch Hurdle to wing and we keep him in the bumper slot on the power play, we do that. But also, it's game 3. Why are we talking about offseason? Let's not do that either. We're only down 3-0. Not even halfway through the game yet. We can come back. Once it becomes 4-0, I might have a different reaction. Ducks are up 2-1. Why am I checking other team scores? We're in play. Vegas in the defensive zone. Anderson from Hannafin. Anderson skates into the neutral zone and dumps it. Gunther sends it over to Schmidt. Nate Schmidt, Vegas legend. Utah gets it out. Vegas gets it back in, but they've got to come off on sides. Schmidt sends it up. Icing. Hey, that's their first one of the second period. Let's go. Nice change, Utah. And then Cooley's after Nick Dowd. Like, I don't know why they're defending him. Like, and saying, like, oh, he's just a kid. He's 21. He can drink, right? And yeah, when I was 21, I was stupid too, but like, I don't know. All right, commercial break. Anaheim's up 2-1 against the Oilers. Cool. Good for them. Let's see. Who scored their second goal? Mason McTavish? They have it in a weird order. Mikhail Granlund. Oh, so McTavish tied it. And then Mikhail Granlund on the power play. Kreider and Carlson on the assists. Logan is great. He is asleep right now. He's really into Pokemon, so that's fun. Come back like every single game at the beginning of the season, and every game in the middle of the season, and towards the end, before we hired Torts. that we weren't losing. It was a comeback, right? Every game went to overtime. We set. Oh my goodness. Half of our games in the first half of the season were in overtime. It was ridiculous. Um, Anderson, extending him, I don't know. I don't know, man. I think he's figured it out recently. He's had a good stretch with us where there are certain games where he's been our best defenseman. He was terrible in game two, right? He scored on us. You'd like that to not happen, but it depends on what his ask is, right? And I like, if anything, I do think it would be a bridge contract instead of like a 7, 8 year extension. But like, I don't know. Jack Eichel. He did not get the puck over, and he didn't go back and get it. He left it for the athletic trainer. Dude, oh man. The Mammoth figuring out the Knights, they just are a really fast team. All credit to them for that. They're a good team, and the Pacific sucks. So like our ability to comprehend whether or not we're actually good, especially with the limited sample size from Torts, are scheduled towards the last when he was our coach in the regular season. I still was not sure if Vegas was a good team entering the playoffs despite winning the Pacific Division. It was a pillow fight, right? I am way ahead in time. So let me. Oh man, Vegas had a shot there to score. Let me clarify. Long series, things change game from game. We could get blown out 6-1 and win the next two, right? Okay, never mind, apparently. You guys are ahead of me. Keller, yeah, Lawson Krause. That's his second of the game. Okay. Bad news. We are down 4-0. We have allowed 4 goals on 8 shots. Hart's got to come out, right? You can't leave him in unless you're not starting him in game 4. All credit to Utah. They've been fantastic. They've taken advantage of the chances that they've had. And I wouldn't like the good news. Hart just got chased. He's allowed 4 goals on 8 shots. So I'm assuming Hill comes in. Or no, is he still in? The only reason I would believe that he's not out is because we're not starting him in game 4, which wouldn't make any sense to me. The good news, Minnesota blew out Dallas 6-1 in game 1, right? In Dallas. And then they won the next, and then Dallas won the next 2, including the first in Minnesota. Like, these games are not indicative of momentum, right? Yeah, they scored 4 in the first half. We still have plenty of time, you know? And all we need is 1 major, and we can score 4, right? I don't know about 5 if Utah gets another one here on the board. No, I wouldn't see Butch doing that. I think he feels bad for the boys because I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he would. I don't really know. I don't know him. All I know is that if Butch isn't laughing, everyone else is. Everyone that's not a Vegas fan is laughing hysterically, right? And this is not assisting the whole pillow fight division thing. Icing. Um, we got to take these one game at a time, right? And we could completely just throw this one in the trash, and Vegas could win the next 3, and Vegas in 6, right? But we just do not know. And if not, like, yeah, Utah could also win in 5. I really, we don't know what this Vegas team is. They were good in the first period until Utah scored, and Utah's taken over since. they've also just capitalized on really opportunistic chances. And Vegas might be chasing, which is why the fourth goal might have happened. But like, it doesn't matter if we can't get a goal past Vermelka. We need the Delta Center to get complacent. So if Vegas gets one here and then quiets them down a little bit, I can see coming back. It's going to take our game breakers to do it. Eichel, Stone, Marner, 5-on-5. We cannot rely on our power play to score every time we get. If we get a power play, we better frickin' score on it when you're down by 4. But we cannot just rely on that, right? My first game ever live streamed, and we're losing 4-0 despite doubling them in shots. Hey, they just got another one, so we're not doubling them in shots anymore. Hey, well, this is fun. I don't know why Hart is still in net. Stop the clock. Oh. How y'all doing? Okay, there are 2 routes that Vegas can go. Are we talking about the offseason now? We're talking about the offseason now. They can either try to keep things similar and expect Karlsson to completely change the outlook on what we're able to do next season. We play Mitch Marner at right wing like he is an elite right winger. We let him do that. We let any center be able to take that spot and let Marner be Marner, right? Instead of forcing him to be center, even though statistically, apparently, Vegas's front office believes that that's fine. Or they can rehaul their roster. Stone constantly injured. Karlsson gets injured every year. We are extremely missing Petro, right? Hey, Carr. That's annoying. I feel like Anna in Frozen 2, which, why my mind went there specifically, must be because of my 3-year-old daughter, where she's yelling at the stone, the rock spirits, the earth giants, to just wake up. And man, it's game 3. Hill needs to come in and all hands on deck. I don't know. I don't know. I think Hart was expecting to get pulled after that, right? He wasn't. Vegas has not landed a shot in a while. We need our game breakers to step up. Vegas has them. Marner is a game breaker. Yes, he's been quiet so far this playoffs, but in Toronto, he was loud in games 1-3 or 1-4 apparently, and then was quiet in 5, 6, and 7. Maybe it just reversed. And so we just got to get there, and he'll just become a monster, right? Even it out, right? Score effects, whatever. Good chance there from Stone, although it didn't look like there was going to be one available because Eichel dropped it to Barbashev and Utah got in the way, but then Stone was able to get it. Anderson, Stone. Like I said, one of our game breakers, Jack Eichel, finally. Let's go! Goal! Vegas Golden Knights. Stone behind the net, sends it towards the slot, and it bounces over to Eichel, who's able to backhand bury it past Vermelka. Lucky goal. But we capitalized on our bounce. Great job. That's 1. That's one. Logan Couture stuck in my head going, that's one to the Sharks bench. That's one from Jack Eichel. We needed it to be one of our stars. We needed them to get on the board and at 5-on-5. Fantastic. Our goalie situation is got me stressed because yeah, we don't know what we're doing, right? Hart to close out the season was good, but he didn't face the greatest competition, right? Utah outside we faced Colorado and Edmonton, right? Edmonton without Hyman and Draisaitl. And Colorado when they had already basically locked up the President's Trophy and they didn't need a try. So it's really hard to determine where we're actually at. I don't know, man. If Vegas is able to get another one here quick, or just like if we're able to hold, right, and then get two to start the third, it's a holding game, right? And that's a lot of ifs. That's a huge hypothetical. But hey, we've seen comebacks before. Marner blocked the pass. Hurdle needs to score. Marner needs to score. Yeah. Hurdle, man. I think that would do wonders to lift the rest of the team because I feel like everyone knows that he's in a drought, right? Kolzar gets pummeled by Schmaltz in the center of ice. Smith sends it around. Korzak, point, shot. Gloved. Hey, no worries. You can cheer for Utah in here. I don't mind. I totally get that. Utah's playing really well, huh? I am a Vegas fan. I don't know. I can't hear the commentators at all. So if they're saying he's hurt on the bench, that sucks. That's going to take the wind out of my sails even more. Did y'all see there's a Panthers commercial on right now for Mass Mutual, I guess. Did you see there was a thing that the Florida Panthers media team sent out where it was like, what year were you born? And then something that came out during the year that you were born. And so it was a bunch of like the players born in the 90s, and then it got to Marchand, and I don't know when he was born. And then they did the wheel. Stone is hurt on the bench. Is that what that means? I am not sick. I just have a cough that I've had for like a month and a half. Allergies suck, man. Yeah, I missed whatever happened to Stone. I don't know what happened. He's on the bench. He doesn't look like he's comfortable. There's 20 people here. Yay! Thank y'all for being here. He's slumping forward. Yeah. Oh, Schmidt. And he fell awkwardly. That's probably his back. Yeah. That's not good. So, what's the excuse now, guys? Is it LTIR? Is it to try to take advantage of that cap? That argument always pisses me off because not because like, or he could just be legitimately injury prone, right? We do need Stone. Our power play is completely worthless without him. Which is weird because you keep 4 out of the 5 guys, you'd think it'd be at least still somewhat effective. He's literally the only one that can do what he does from behind the net on Vegas's team. It's insane. When he got injured earlier in the season, our power play died. It's like it's whatever. I'm sure people are just using it to rage bait now. They have been for years, but like I don't understand. Do you think they keep Harden for all of the second and then they switch to Schmidt or Hill in the third, assuming the score stays the same? Yeah, Mark Stone, made of glass. Go figure. It really does suck. If he, man, like I'm not even joking. If he was not injury prone, he would probably be like consistent Selkie top three, one of the top 20 players in the league. Hey, good morning from Switzerland. Let's go. That's cool. Hand pass? No? Okay. Marner just like batted the Stone mark, fake injuries. Yeah. And whistle. Anytime I say whistle out loud, it just makes me think of Roy Kent from Ted Lasso. That is interference from Keller on Shea Theodore. Cool. Well, refs aren't calling much now, eh? Except for that weird goalie interference and then the high stick. And the high sticks, they kind of have to call, right? No, they don't have to do anything, right? They're the refs. They don't need accountability either. Oh boy. Puck's in the slot. Howden found it. Vermelka found it. Vermelka found it. And rough stuff. Kolzar. Hey, is this a fight? No, gloves are on. If the gloves are on, you can do whatever you want, right? The moment the gloves come off, that's when he waved by it, whoever that was, and then Cole decides to come butt in. Really good control from Howden behind the net. No, that's not Howden. That's no, that is Howden. And then Dursey goes after Kolzar. No, that's O'Brien. Holy moly. No, that is Jersey. Yeah, it's Jersey. And then it's 3-on-1, and Kolzar holds his own. That's crazy. Oh, he averaged 7 hits in the first 2 games per game. He's had 2 tonight. No, 5 tonight. You think, I mean, if Hart lets in one more, he's got to be pulled immediately, right? Do you put in Schmidt then? No, because you can only dress 2 goalies, right? So it would have to be Hill. Unless Torch just hates the guy, and then that's why we saw him in the one game that we lost in the shootout. Hurdle sends it up to Howden. Hurdle missed him. Kolzar. Hurdle gets the puck. Doro. Come on, man. Hurdle got high sticked or cross checked or something. That's a penalty. Interference? There's got to be a fight tonight, right? For Vegas, it'll probably be Keegan, and I would say Jersey, but I don't know if Jersey wants to do it, right? Good job from Hurdle. That's the best Hurdle's looked all series. That's yeah, interference on Schmidt, eh? Power play for Vegas. Huge opportunity to get one before the end of the. Before the end of the period. Marner. Stanley gets it out. Yeah, 21 shots to 11, and the score is 1-4. Yeah. Oh, wow. Vegas with oh man, Marner forced it to Dorofeev on a backhand pass through the middle of the ice as Utah was coming up. And they're able to control it and clear. Eichel through the neutral zone, drops it for Doro. Hurdle, Marner. Marino. Schmaltz. Stone keeps it in. Doro, shot. Crossbar. Eichel. They half changed lines for the power play. Barbashev. Eichel. Theo. Anderson. Shot. Hit the post. They had a crossbar and a post on this power play. Anderson. Back for Theodore. Shot. Blocker. Corner. Penalties killed. Hart covers. Man. And Dorofeev off the crossbar. Almost just picked the corner. The short side post. Man. Okay. Fun fact, that clear down the ice that went to Hart counted as a shot on goal for Utah. Not all shots are created equal. Our best goal scorer is Pavel Dorofeev. He's got to be able to show up more in the playoffs, right? 20 seconds left. Utah dumps it into the zone. They're not particularly trying, even though their best line's out there. Against our fourth line. It is constantly the fourth line against their best line. I don't think Vegas has shut them down enough for that to be a good thing. 3.5 seconds after an icing. Utah again with another icing. That's fun. I don't really know what you can blame him for. The tip goal from Krause, there was drawing up a play. They have doubt on the stop because he's our best faceoff guy, right? Which is insane. I guess you do want Eichel in the shooter spot. Come on, ref. Don't fake drop the puck. Oh, my goodness. Vegas. And that'll do it. Okay. Oh, we got one. We really needed two in order to make it feel like this was realistic. Because has Vegas ever come down from 4-0 to win a game? I know they've come down from 3-goal deficits a lot. This is an entire team loss. Yeah, 100%. Mammoth also won this game, right? Like, we still have another period. And Vegas has come down from 3 down before in one period. So like anything's possible, but Utah just was extremely opportunistic. They have Dylan Gunther is a fantastic player. Logan Cooley is fantastic. Clayton Keller, gold medalist. Lawson Crouse has 2 goals. Mackenzie Weegar. Oilers tied it. Kasperi Kapanen, who's been fantastic for them. That power play, yeah, that interference call was kind of fun. I want to talk about gifts that the NHL gives you. Uh, the Lawson Crouse tip is not on Hart. That one timer to make it 4-0, I wouldn't really say that was on Hart. The goal that I'd want back, really, I guess, would be Uyghurs, but that was just, it bounced all over the place, right? I don't know that you can really say that Hart should have had any of it's the name of the gig, right? He's the goaltender. He needs to stop the pucks. But I don't know, man. I don't know what he's supposed to do when defensively we're not doing it. This entire season has been a huge adjustment period without Petro defensively. Because we replaced him with Korzak, right? We replaced Haig with Lauzon, and Lauzon has really come into his own recently. But like, I don't know, man. And then Barn was loud, 100%. You have to score goals, 100%. Game 2, our best player was our goalie, and he still let in 3. You've got to. I think you got to go Hill in the third period. Maybe you keep Harden. It depends on what's going on in that locker room, I guess. I do think that, yeah, the old Knights need to get younger. But like, how are we going to do that? We got Connolly, and we have another defenseman. How's Henderson doing? Last I saw, they had scored twice. It's 3-0 Henderson over San Jose. So that's good for them. That's about halfway through the game. That's game 2 for them in the first round. If they win, that's the end of the first round, right? It's a best of 3. So good for them. But like, Braden Bowman was a revelation for us for his first like 4 games. I don't really know how we get younger without trading out players that we don't really have that we'd be losing the trade on. Trevor Connolly can come up, I guess. Lazinski and Bowman, but like, I don't know that they moved the needle that much. Ben Hemmerling, was a surprise this season. I didn't realize he was a forward. I don't know. Schmid. The thing about Schmid is like he started, and when he starts a game, he's not as good. When he comes in relief, he is really good. I do not have any Henderson jerseys. I finally just bought and completed my 32 out of 32 teams in the league. It isn't here yet, but I got the Utah jersey like a week or 2 ago, and then I finally have a Florida jersey that's coming in the mail. So now I've completed that. I've got Arizona and Atlanta as well. I kind of want a Hartford jersey because that logo is so sick. And then the Nordiques, I guess, but I don't know. I think Vegas is supposed to get a New Jersey next year, and Henderson, like I've been just looking, and they're always like full price. And usually when I buy jerseys, it's like not full price, right? I got my Utah jersey for about $60. I just bought the Florida Panthers jersey, which is a Reebok, but their new one. Um, that will be I got that for 50. And so I don't really pay full price for my jerseys. The only jersey I paid full price on was the reverse retros because I knew those were a limited run, and even the other reverse retros that I have, I bought on sale. So until I'm able to find a good deal on a Henderson one, I don't think I'm going to pull the trigger. I was going to get one when they had their inaugural season and were fantastic, and I was going to get Logan Thompson on the back. Who Logan Thompson would be a very good night right now, right? Right? Although hindsight, yeah, 100%. In the moment, I don't know how you make that decision because he'll just won you a cup, right? Like, I don't know, man. Possibility of Mark Stone not playing the season, that would, yeah, I know, which would also be sad. LTIR retirement for Stone, I don't know, man. He was fantastic this season, and he got injured early. He got injured a little bit later in the season as well. We've got to be able to. I don't know. The thing is with the way the NHL is now, a good team is able to stave off 3-goal comebacks in the third period. I think Utah is a good enough team to be able to do that. So we'll see what happens. It's always we can see, right? Vegas in 6, anything can happen. My wife said Vegas in 6. I should probably call her back at some point. But this is every year except for the cup year in the playoffs, our offense just dries up at some point. And I don't know. With the exception of probably 2019, but we barely saw them in the playoffs. Our offense dried up in 2018 against the Caps, and then Marc-Andre Fleury stopped being a god because he literally could not be stopped through the first 3 rounds. In 2020, our offense dried up against Montreal. In 2021, offense dried up against Dallas. 2022, we didn't make it. 2023, cup run. 2024, against Dallas in the first round, offense dried up towards the end of the series. And then 2025 against Edmonton, we didn't score a goal in the last 2 games. We scored the last goal we scored was game 3, Riley Smith's not overtime, game winner with like 0.3 seconds left in regulation. And so offense going cold has been a consistent thing with Vegas. Yeah, things tighten up in the playoffs. I don't know what you're supposed to do because the personnel has changed, the coaches have changed, all these different things. So moving forward, I really don't know what we're supposed to do. We're constantly changing our top end personnel, and our offense is continuing to go stale every year. I don't know what it is. Oh, okay. Oilers 3-2. Ryan Nugent Hopkins from Evan Bouchard and Connor McDavid finally got a point over not quite halfway through the second period. I'm checking my Fantasy Stars app. Good pick for me to pick the Utah Mammoth. What's his name? Dylan Gunther. Bouchard finally got his first point too. Yeah, the American. I need a USA jersey too. I did not pick up any merch. I have a Canada jersey. I got a Gretzky '87 Canada jersey. It was off of eBay or not eBay, Amazon before I realized it was a knockoff. I think I got it for like $30 back in 2020, 2021. Third period is their best period, right? The third period is what won us the game 1. Third period is what lost us game 2. It really depends on Utah in the third. Us being able to start Vermelka and Utah, they have a drum line too. Cool. That's fun. Or at least that's what they're doing during the intermission. Oh man. Honestly, it's been kind of refreshing being off Twitter today to avoid the Utah Vegas rivalry stuff that's been going on because I'm not about that. I can't do any of that. That was terrible defense from Anderson to let Kraus go in and score that tipping goal. He needs to press him harder, not let him go to the net, not let him get a stick down for the tip. That was exactly the reason why Nick Dowd, Mark Stone scored the tipping goal against Edmonton, I believe, in that game in the regular season. Again, with Ekholm just letting him have the lane. And then that's Nick Dowd and the fourth line in game one. Utah's just been capitalizing on turnovers, and Theodore didn't get in front of Krause's shot and didn't block. That would be, I think, the number one thing that I've missed about Martinez and Petro specifically is their shot blocking. Dudes were shot blocking machines, and I haven't seen that as much this season. And our defense has been dog crap. So we need to get on top of blocking shots better, I think. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a fan. Oh, I will be right back. I'm going to go call my wife just to say hi, and I'll be back before the third period starts. But thank you guys for being here, and let's have a good third period, yeah? My mic was going the whole time, eh? I don't know how to turn that off. Let's go back. Oh, like I said at the top of the stream, kind of bad juju about tonight's game in general. I saw a fire truck that had 801 on it. It was fire truck 801, which is Utah's area code. My wife is in Utah right now visiting family. And so I was just kind of like, I don't know. We'll see. Down but not out. We've overcome 3 goal deficits in the third period before. I don't remember 4-0 comeback in Vegas' history. But there's always a time for a first, right? And we have Eichel. We have Jack Eichel, Mark Stone. We have Mitch Marner. We have Shea freaking Theodore, right? We need to get him on the board. We have game breakers. They can come alive. We have a fourth line that has been really solid. They can come alive. It doesn't matter. We need 3. Anyone and everyone come alive as we enter the third. Oh boy. That is a ginormous flag that they're sending through the fans. That's awesome. Petro Martinez shot blocking machines, definitely missed them. Man. Could you imagine how different it would be if we'd gotten one of those, right? All right, 20 minutes. Alec Martinez, I love what he's been doing. I think he's great for being an announcer and kind of like Eric Johnson has been doing. I could see him in that role. Like I think he's really good. I have no idea what Torts is doing. I honestly, because he every time he gives an interview, he's like, the things that we talked about, I'm going to keep that in room. He is either laying into him. I think he's more of a laying into them kind of guy. But hopefully it works differently than when it did with Cassidy in the last season and a half. Oh, okay. Vegas starting this third on their heels. Bad pass. Uyghur, they're just going to sit with it. I don't know what Hart was supposed to do on any of those goals. He's a goaltender. He has to make a save. It sure would be nice for him to make a spectacular save when he shouldn't have, right? That's the case with all of Vegas's goalies all season. He wasn't able to, and yeah, we're down 4-0, but that's not because of Carter Hart. Active NHL franchises are 12, 18, and 1 all time in their first ever home playoff game. Utah is looking to make that a little bit better for their franchise, for the NHL franchises. Vegas is 1-0 as well. So, honestly, if we're able to split the series and come home 2-2, that's going to be the world of a difference. If we're able to show some sort of fight back here to close out game 3, even if we don't end up tying it, that's going to be huge. If we get blown out, it's not going to matter. Games are one at a time. There's no carryover. All we have to do is just win. Vermelka makes a save. Mitch Marner's second shot of the game in the beginning of the third. Fantastic. Utah had another one of their shots taken away. Man, just making Carter Hart's save percentage look worse and worse. Teams come back from 3-1 all the time. Vegas has not ever. Again, there's always a first time for everything. If we lose game 4, I think the hardest thing is going to be winning game 6 in Utah. The Delta Center is crazy right now. It's their first home playoff game. They should be crazy. I don't know. We'll see. Icing from Utah. Shocker. It's been a lot less this game, right? That's only their like 6th. Blocked. But honestly, like, this is the time of game when there's going to be a ton of icing from Utah because they're up by 3 goals in the third period. Come on, wow. Torts put Dorofeev with Cole Smith and Nick Dowd. What a demotion. And that's why he tipped it so wide. Cole Smith tipped it wide, not as wide as Dorofeev, who was on the doorstep. Mackenzie Weegar sends it back deep. That's Stenlund. Oh, good get. Over to Theodore. Howden couldn't get it through. That would have been big if he could get it to Hurdle. Hurdle keeps it, sends it on or wide. Well, I don't think there's going to be a fight tonight because there's no reason for Utah to get engaged in that. So I'm not going 3 for 3. I predicted overtime. Probably not going to happen. It would be crazy if it did. Weegar flips it up and out. Anderson collects it. Vegas changes. So does Utah. Tipped in. Wow. Icing. Season 10. You think they're going to have a patch for Season 10? They didn't have one for Season 5. Which, I don't know if having 2 Vs would have been too much, but like, that's probably what they would have done, right? And they're doing Season X, so is it going to be an X patch for Season 10? A special center ice logo? And out. Hannafin over to Anderson, who fires it in. And it's out again. We need 1 goal every 5 minutes at this point. after the U.S. beat Canada in the gold medal match, I watched Miracle. Me and my wife watched Miracle because when else would we watch it? Right? Like I watch it at least once a year. That's probably my favorite movie. And so reading I Believe in Miracles just made me think of The Call. Do you believe in miracles? Yes. Very different circumstances. Vegas gets the zone and then just chucks it deep. Man, dump and chase is not going to work at this point, guys. Unless your whole goal is to hit them every time you do it to soften them up for the rest of the series. McNabb, shot, blocked, didn't get all the way through, and now Yamamoto gets it out. One goal every 5 minutes, now less than that. Wide. It's not going to work. Dorofeev getting demoted to the fourth line. Our best goal scorer. Theodore, shot, blocked. Jersey, can't get it out. Dorofeev kept it in. Dowd. Kept in by Lauzon. Sends it up. Dowd. Try to get it to Dorofeev, and it goes out of play. Offensive zone draw. Man. Carter Hart's save percentage for this game, while not indicative of his play, is less than 66%. That's crazy. Well, that's a shot on goal for Utah. Oh my goodness. Rasmus Anderson's stick broke and he freaking flopped. Not flopped as in like embellish, but like just onto the deck like a fish. If that's not indicative of Vegas tonight. One goal every 4.5 minutes. All we need is a split. Coming home 2-2 would be really nice. Our next game is Monday. And like I said earlier about the Minnesota-Dallas series, Minnesota whopped Dallas 6-1 in game one. And then Dallas came back and won the next two, right? 4-1 is not as bad as 6-1. But we're going to see. I did one shot to Vegas when it should have been one to Utah. I don't know. I don't know what the shots are. Whatever. Let's see. Ducks tied it. Alex Killorn. It's 3-3. Utah, 14 shots on goal, according to the NHL website. That's fun. Now he has a save percentage over 67%. Let's go. In positive news, because I started the Mammoth and Dylan Gunther on my Fantasy Stars page for the app for the game, I'm in second in my league in my division right now. That's good. I might get promoted to the next league next week. That's fun. And now we're seeing Utah Jazz highlights from the 80s, 90s, 90s. That's Malone, Stockton, over the Bulls. Still got Knights in 6. Thanks, Dalton. Yeah, let's hope, man. I don't know. I believe in the team, and I also believe that Utah could also win this. It's one of those series where we really just do not know. Utah is the 23rd state to host an NHL playoff game. Good for them. And good for Utah Mammoth fans. Really, I'm happy for them. Not at the expense of my own happiness and my own team. Kolzar got in deep and sent it wide. McNabb sends it to the corner. Kolzar, Hurdle, Jersey. Fantasy leagues, I don't know. I have this app that I've had since it opened last season because it's just something on the phone that I can do for like I can just set my lineup and then just like follow along. It's not very hands-on. As far as like a fantasy league goes, I really haven't done much with that. The Fantasy Stars app the NHL put out has just been a fun way that I can play for free and not have to worry about it too much. I don't know what you get. Like, you lose both of those trades. Doro and Hurdle are two best goal scorers in the regular season. Because they can't perform in the playoffs, teams are not going to pay for Hurdle what we paid to get him. And San Jose retained on that, right? Like, without retaining, which why on earth would we do with our cap situation being what it is? I don't know how you come out of that trade better. And Dorofiev, maybe. Oh, rough stuff. Sissons and Uyghur. I need to stop the clock. It is Uyghur and Sissons, who immediately goes after Eichel and Anderson. They're just letting him go, eh? Ref's literally just staring there the whole time. That's fun. Hey, we get a power play out of that. Barbashev, big hit on Kraus and legal open ice hit. If I'm being honest, I don't think he made head contact from that angle. And then it brings Utah into the bud, which is what they did game 1, right? Sergachev and Uyghur both going after it. Cross-checking to Utah, 50-98. Sergachev, great. Let's go. Vegas gets a minor penalty as well. Never mind. Unless Anderson and Weir got coincidentals, but I don't think they did. Trade for picks and free up cap space. Yeah, but there's what the free agency this season doesn't look great, and Vegas historically has not drafted well. I don't know. That doesn't make us better right now. If we set back into a retooling year, then there's that. But what is this? 4-on-4? No. Wow, they did get coincidentals. So Vegas is on the power play, eh? Don't mind the fact that the penalty time is weird. I'm just trying to figure that out. Marner sends it up. Vegas has a power play. Big if we can score. But it'll be a miracle if we can get set up and actually maintain the zone. I'm getting more and more deflated as time goes on. That's fun. See, and these aren't icings, right? So Utah can just do what they do best and send it down the ice with zero worry about being exhausted and being in the defensive zone again. And it skips over Eichel, and Stone waits for it instead of going up to it. And we send it to Utah, who just is able to hang on to it and clear. Yeah, Doro is probably the best player we've drafted that's not Nick Suzuki that we immediately shipped out before he played a game with us, right? Uh, but again, it took how many years to develop him to be who he is now? And that doesn't make Vegas better right now. And we need, if we plan on being a contender next year, we need to get better for next year, right? What is going on with the ice? Holy moly. Sissons just fell, which Sissons on our power play. That's fantastic. Blocked. Ramelka's not going to, yeah. There's 4 seconds left on the power play. So disregard the 8. Unless we're able to replace Dorofeev with Trevor Connolly or Ben Hemmerling, which that's very rare. The only person that I've seen that's come in out of the AHL to immediately, or like junior, keeping pace with what they did has been Beckett Seneca this year. I don't know, man. Like it's just it's not the off season yet. We don't have to worry about that yet. We start worrying about that when we're down in a shot, and that's the end of the power play. The shots were at 14 for Utah. Now they're back down to 11. Gotta love that. Halfway through, we need a goal every 3 minutes now. Do you pull Hart at some point for an empty netter for the extra attacker? How much time left? On the power play would have made sense to me, although that's a long time. But like, be aggressive, right? Unless Torts has just given up on this game, right? Letting Doro walk, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to be really hard to replace that guy. Which series? Okay, last question because there's 9 minutes left, right? So we've got one more commercial break after this, and I'm probably going to wrap this up right after the game's over so that I can quickly film my post-game reaction to this and then get that up as fast as I can so I can get to sleep. But yeah, not showing up in the playoffs both years, it's hard. But like letting him walk for nothing, I don't know because I don't know who we replace him with, and without his goals this season, uh, yeah, Eichel and Marner are both passers, right? Unless one of them decides to change their game, which they've been doing the exact same way for the past decade. I don't know. And William Karlsson is on screen for the promotional period for the next game, right? I don't know. What playoff series has been the most fun to watch for you guys this season? The one that you've been the most invested in? For me, it's hard not to be invested in the Buffalo series, given the fact that they've missed for 14 straight seasons or whatever, and are here, finally, and they're doing well. and Alex Tuck is a monster. I watched the Dallas, and I've been watching games every night. But the Dallas Minnesota ones, I've been watching the highlights of specifically because those are just fun games. Even though both of those teams have a rivalry with Vegas. Jack Eichel's 4 for 14 on the dot. Krause is 11 for 14. 1 goal every 3 minutes. That's what it's going to take. And it's going to get worse than that. And it goes out. Yay. Philly for that when the Penguins, which I don't know why they chose the yellow jerseys. Maybe that's why they were cursed and are down 3-0 is because I don't know. But watching him watch the Penguins come out for warm-ups for the game 3 in Philly and just staring down, like that was so funny. I love what they do with Gritty. That's really, really fun and good for the league. And it goes out of the zone. Theodore collects it. Torts says all the lines in a blender. Lauzon sends it up. It's tipped, but icing. It was tipped before the red line. Game 4's time on Monday still TBD. Game 5 is necessary. I don't know why it's if necessary. And then at this point, got to make Game 6 necessary. Right? Vegas has to do that. They have to win. Vegas fan over a hockey fan. I get that point of view. For me, I've been watching hockey all my life, and I never had a team, right? I didn't really get invested until 2009 with the Pens Detroit series, and watching Fleury in Game 7 with that diving save to end, it hooked me, and I've loved Fleury since. Never like committed to being a Pens fan, but then I was in Vancouver. Oh, just wide. Vegas, or I was in Vancouver for a couple of years and thought I was going to pick the Canucks. And then Vegas was announced to getting a team. And that's when I finally committed to having a team. For me, it's definitely hockey first over Vegas specifically, just because I love the sport. It's the most fun I've ever had playing anything. 30 plus guys on Vegas. I don't know. A lot, that's for sure. We are definitely one of the slower teams in the league. The only players that I've seen match Utah in speed have been Eichel and sometimes Marner. Barbashev, I guess, as well, because I don't know, he found another gear as he does every playoffs. One goal every 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Oh, now Utah's complaining. Eichel tried to force a pass instead of shooting. And it gets blocked into behind the net. Honestly, the refs are just going to let them play. I don't know. Like, there might have been something that Vegas did. I didn't see it. Whatever. Refs are just going to let them play. T-Bird in Seattle, Kolzar Barzal, Theodore. Yeah. Canucks games growing up for NHL. Yeah. And that's a nice. And Liam O'Brien is chirping Lauzon. No, he's getting hauled off. All right. That's not at all suspicious. I don't know what the call was. Interference? They've been calling interference a lot, which they don't normally do, I don't feel like, in the playoffs. Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know. I think that's interference, but I've also seen them let other things go that's very similar. I definitely think it was interference, but like also I didn't see what Vegas did that caused Utah to stand up and be up in arms about what happened on the ice. Uh, they're going to score on this one and then not, right? The rest of the game. That's going to just give Vegas hope and then to crush it further. Eichel sends it back. Shot. And Vermelka stops it. One goal every 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Marner. Hurdle. Eichel. Marner. Stone behind the net. Gets it over to Eichel. Back to Marner. Eichel. Marner. Eichel. Cleared. Utah has shut down our best players. The one goal that we have this game is Jack Eichel, our best player, right? But it was off of a lucky bounce of a puck sent into the slot that bounced off of Barbashev that had two guys on him, perfectly over to Eichel to backhand over Vermelka. Cleared. No, not cleared. Kept in. Hurdle. Try to feed Dorofeev. It gets broken up. Guys, fantastic energy from the Delta Center. Good on Utah. I'm glad their fans are really into this. This is great for the game. They killed it. One goal every minute and 20 seconds. It's all it's going to take. That's it, right? Yamamoto gets it to himself. We didn't pull Hart. That would have been the time to pull Hart with the power play. So yeah, Torts either gave up on this game or whatever. I would say Vegas didn't look dead on one of the power plays, right? Because we had the crossbar and the post on that one. And that power play, just no puck luck. The thing is, yeah, on it, like, okay. Vegas has lost the game, right? Yeah, no, like, short of a major being called right now, whatever. Down scores. Hey, hey. And it's Nick Dowd too. That gets on Utah's skin, right? That gets under their skin. Cool. I would say that McCrimmon has made fantastic moves that I did not think were fantastic in the moment this year. The Nick Dowd and Cole Smith trades, I was like, oh man, what is he doing with those? He paid way too much for that, right? And then game one happens. Cole Smith and Nick Dowd are like arguably our two best players that are able like that actually show up, right? And they won that game because of that trade, basically, right? And here's Nick Dowd again. It had to have been him, right, to get under Utah's skin because Cooley doesn't score. They're not going to care. Now they pull the goalie. Kraus for the hat trick. Broken up. They're going to try to give it to Kraus, right? Honestly, if I'm Utah, I don't care. It's the playoffs. You just get it in. Schmaltz. Why am I stressed out? Vegas is not winning this game. Vegas wins game 4, pushes it to make it at least a 6-game series, and they steal back home ice. It's a best of 3 at that point, with 2 games being in Vegas. Icing? Cool. Great. Grand. Fantastic. Odd year Pacific Division curse winners curse continues. I didn't know that was a thing. I'm missing something there. Cool. Cool. Let's see. 2023. Who won the division that year? That was us, right? Odd year. It's 2026. I'm confused. I need that one to be explained to me. That's great. Vegas calls a timeout. Huh. Positional coaches after the cup run. Honestly, can I say, like, 2024, we get out in the first round, right? From Dallas. That series, Vegas did not do good well in the regular season, right? We sat Stone because he was injured from a lacerated spleen, which, yes, that's a real injury that hockey players get. I have the medical article on that specific thing pulled up and saved as a bookmark on my tabs. That series definitely could have been a Western Conference final, right? And it was in 7 games, I think. Yeah. The year after the cup run, getting out in there. Okay, whatever. Since then, when we lost all those players that year in the free agency, because we had to, because they had so many I'm getting distracted by the hockey game, which, I'm supposed to be commenting on the hockey game. Utah gets it out. No, it's not. Yeah, now it's out, and that should do it, right? Nope. Vegas gets back control of the puck. Eichel sends it deep. Ramelka slows it. Carcone gets it out. Yamamoto is flying past Anderson towards the puck. I don't know what. Anderson defensively just shocks me. Deflected out of play. Oh, man. Every team who's won the Pacific Division on an odd season has gone into a rebuild. Like, odd as in, like, since Vegas has entered the league? Yeah, okay. Has gone into a rebuild for the Pacific since Vegas came to the league. So, except for Vegas season 1 then, right? Because season 1, we won it. Season 3, which would have been 2020, it all ended weird, right? Imagine Vegas scored on that second power play with one of the pucks that went off the post. We're down by 1 right now. And that's going to do it, right? Yep, Schmaltz. Kraus for the hat trick. Nope, broken up. They're forcing the hat trick too much. Not like it's going to matter because Utah's winning this game. But having a playoff hat trick for their first home game would be insane for them. Like, yeah, you don't need the 5th goal. Trying to force it to Kraus, although he just went to the bench, would make total sense to me. And now, losing all those guys in free agency in 2024 is when it all changed for me. We lost Stevenson, we lost Amadio, we lost wow. If anyone gets the empty enter, I want it to be Gunther for my fantasy group. That's it. Game's over. Okay. Real quick. Congratulations, Utah Mammoth, on your first ever playoff. I'm going to say this exactly in the video, but I'm going to say it here. On your first ever playoff home victory. That is hugely emotional. To get it done on your first try is not something that half the teams in the NHL have done. Congratulations, Mammoth fans. You guys showed up. The Delta Center is rocking right now. That is fantastic energy. If you guys keep that up for game 4, and then hopefully we get there, game 6, it's going to be really tough for Vegas to win. That being said, Vegas dominating. The first half of the first period did not matter. Utah scored first, and since then it just was all downhill from there. Vegas, this game, I'm not going to try to sound like one of those people that when they lose, it was 4-0, right? It was a lot closer than that for most of the game, right? We lost Carrier that offseason too. We lost 6 of our starting lineup that offseason. It was crazy. Martinez, Stevenson, Carrier. I can't remember. I made a skit about it. It's one of the. I can't remember. I don't know. This game, good for Utah, matters for them. For Vegas, you gotta brush it off. You gotta take whatever happened in this game, dumb puck luck, whatever, weird bounces, throw it in the trash. The things that need to be better for the rest of the series. Anderson needs to play better defense. We need Marner to step up and score a goal. We need Dorofeev to step up and score a goal. We need Hurdle. Those 3 guys right there are, whether or not we win this series, we have so many people that can score a goal, and we need one of them to do it, right? We need multiple of them, hopefully, but it's a 4-2 loss. This game is closer than that, even though they were up 4-0 at one point, because if Vegas gets 1, we still wouldn't have come back and done it, right? But it would have been different. The vibes would have been different going into the third. Who knows what would have happened. The thing is Marner in the playoffs, what Toronto complained about was games 5, 6, and 7, not 1 through 4. Carrier, Marchessault, Amadio, Martinez, Stevenson, Logan Thompson, yeah. That's a huge group to lose, right? And since then, it's just been different, right? That being said, this group can totally get this done. Utah can also get it done. It's going to be Cooley and Gunther. Utah. Utah is a good team. They're not a bad team. Petro, we kind of lost him. We kept him. This season is the season we lost him for. Thank you all for joining me on this stream. I'm gonna collect my thoughts and do a post-game reaction video. I'm not going to include any clips of me reacting because there's this now, and me going through and clipping from this would take way too long. But I really appreciate it. Depending on the time Monday night, there's no way. Unless it's a prime time, it starts too early for Vegas or Utah, there's no way I'm going to be watching this. Henderson is winning right now. That's fantastic to hear. They are up 3-1 in the third period with about half the period left to go. Ducks are up 5-3. Cool. Good for them. This is one game. We can brush this off. We can come back. Our goaltending issue needs to be fixed. Vegas is capable of winning the rest. Utah is capable of winning the rest. This is a good series. This is a fun series. Unfortunately for us. But that's going to be it for today's this live stream. Thank you so much for joining me. This is very fun. We'll see.